Day. It's 9 to 8. And would you like to donate your organs? Whose choice should it be? Should it be as simple as it is in some other countries where you can just tick a box on your licence? Your wishes are protected by law. Rob Manning is a Central Coast liver transplant recipient and joins us on the line. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Scott, and thank you very much for listening to me.
Good to talk to you, Rob. And first of all, how are you going, mate?
I'm doing better than I could have ever hoped for. And in actual fact, if you'd said to me 12 months ago I was going to be sitting here talking to Scott about liver transplants, I would have laughed at you because I didn't realise I was sick.
You were on death's door. I mean, did you see the light? You're in a coma and you were not expected to survive. Literally, I shouldn't laugh about it, but at the time it was pretty bloody awful.
I tell you what, Scott, I like your outlook on life because you do need to have a sense of humour, and when it comes to silver linings, you've got to look for the silver lining in every cloud, and I think that's where organ donation comes in, because if it wasn't for the kindness and the generosity of the donor and the understanding of the donor family that that the person had decided that they wanted to be a donor, and the brilliant, I suppose, care of the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital Liver Unit, I'd be dead. And so I understand that without donors, people who find themselves in my situation, and very quickly I was diagnosed in April 2021 with an autoimmune disease which rapidly resulted in catastrophic liver and kidney failure, and it put me into the coma, as you said, just 11 days before the end of the year.
So this is only a few months ago.
Yeah, so it was actually, I found out on the 29th of March 2021 that I had some issues with my liver. It was about 2 weeks later that they came back and said, you've got end-stage liver disease, and within 12 months, unless we can get you a transplant, you will be dead. And I said, but I don't feel sick. And they said, well, whether you feel sick or not, you are. Were you a drinker? I said, look, I didn't think I drank more than many other Australians. I wouldn't certainly not consider myself to be a heavy drinker. And the doctors, as it turns out, said, no, it's an autoimmune disease. Whether you were 64 or 54 like you are, this would have happened to you. It's obviously been complicated by alcohol, but what we're going to ask you to do is refrain from alcohol, abstain in actual fact. So I'm now a teetotaling soft drink drinker, and
good on you,
and proud of it, because I think I wake up every day and I think about just how lucky I am to have had somebody who took the time to register on the Donate Life organ register and had the conversation with their next of kin to say this is what I want, so that
But why do you have to do that? I mean, you just do it, and then your next of kin know that that's your wish because you've done it. In some countries it's tick a box on a licence. Here you've got to jump through quite a few hoops. You've got to go to, and everyone doesn't want to think about death, and that's the one thing that is inevitable. We don't want to talk about. You've got to go to Donate Life at .gov.au/register a donor, and then you've got to fill out the paperwork. But in many other countries, you just tick a box on your licence, don't you?
That's right, and it was the case here certainly in New South Wales, that it used to be a part of the licence process. But then a national register was created about 10 years ago, and in creation of that national register, unfortunately what didn't happen was all of the states didn't adopt the same legislation. So, for example, here, you and I can have the conversation about my story, and we can if we knew who the donor was, we could even talk about who the donor was. And there's stories about people who have donated their organs and tissues and what a difference it's made in other people's lives. But if you lived in Adelaide or Perth and your loved one passed away and you decided that you wanted to honour their wishes and let their organs be donated, when you walk out of the hospital, you can't talk about it. You can't tell the story of your beautiful loved one who decided to give the wonderful gifts of life to somebody else, because the law says you can't talk about it publicly. That's one thing I want to get changed, because I think if families can have the conversation, that next of kin consent, which even in the UK, where it's they've adopted a process of deemed consent, which means that every adult who's physically fit for purpose is considered to be an organ donor, but the family still have the final say.
That's a good idea. Yeah. They can opt out, but most people opt in, and many families say it was the only positive thing to come out of the whole dreadful experience if someone's taken young.
And that, Scott, that point that you just made there is actually a very pertinent one, because I spoke to a liver specialist in the UK on Tuesday night, and he said that it sounds quite flippant, but he said you need to change the mood music in the conversation. If the person has had that conversation with their family, then the family will be more likely to approve the donation. But he said the grieving process for that family is much shorter and much more endurable than families who choose not to. And he said, because if you can say that my loved one did an amazing thing in their grief, in our grief, in their passing, they saved the sight of a person who had cataract blindness, or they saved the life of a young child who had a heart and lung problem, or they saved a man who had an autoimmune disease with a donation of a liver. That then gives you something positive to continue to talk about with that person. But as I said, in some states, they can't talk about it, and that is I think, a travesty, because you should be able to celebrate the wonderful gift of life. As I said, I'm every day I wake up and think that I've been given an opportunity.
What can you do now? Can you go down to Norah Head and have a run on the beach or something? I mean, what's the limit now for you?
There are no limits for me. I'm going to compete in the World Transplant Games in April in Perth.
Right. What are you doing? What are you competing in?
2023. I'm going to play golf and 10-pin bowling.
Where do you play golf? At Shelley Beach?
Yeah, I'm actually on the waiting list for Shelley Beach. I'm number 35, so I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks, because I've only just moved up to the Central Coast. When I found out I was sick last year, we bought the Central Coast, and we love the lifestyle up here. The community is wonderful, and it is.
Next time you're at the pro shop, and when you get in, put your name down with Rod World, the club champion. He hits a lovely ball, and he's a very nice bloke, and he'll show you a thing or two.
I tell you what, as I said, you've got to look for the silver lining in everything. About 2 weeks out of hospital, I went down to the Bateau Bay driving range and I said to my wife, I'm only going to play the short irons, so I'll just hit the 7 and 9 in the wedge and just sort of get some movement back. And when I hit the ball and it was so sweetly straight, I thought, this is interesting. So I got out my driver and I teed up and I hit the ball and went straight down the middle, and I thought, see, there is a positive out of the liver transplant. I can't try and be a John Daly and hit the cover off the ball now. I've got to just do a swing.
Yeah, that's right. It's making you... Well, as long as you didn't pop your stitches. But
no, I didn't.
Look, it's great news. And obviously you would have quite a scar there, I guess, from
I have.
The surgery.
It is. I'm going to tell my grandkids it was a shark attack. But
all right, next time you're down on the beach, it might get you a wave to yourself if you go surfing. I've already survived one.
I do want to encourage everyone who's listening to think about it. I'm not telling people that they have to do it, but if you think about just what a difference it can make in not just the recipient's life, but their family and their community and everything, that no one wants to, as you said, talk about this, but the positives that can come out of it. Register with Donate Life and have the conversation with the family, because at the end of the day, without donors, there is no organ donation. So
Rob Manning, fantastic sentiment to leave it on. Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck. We'll see you out on the golf course at Shelley Beach.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Scott.
See you then.
Take
Passionate
care.
transplant advocate and liver recipient Rob Manning there. Cat Stevens after 8:30.